Gene Hackman and Betsy Hackman were found deceased in their New Mexico home. Authorities immediately began investigating Gene Hackman's death once the world received the horrific news. They considered the couple's death suspicious enough to warrant a comprehensive inquiry. The case seemed uncomplicated at first. Hackman, 95, had a long and successful life. But as investigators pieced everything together, several aspects raised suspicions. Were external influences involved? What happened in those final days that no one talked about? Discover the surprising revelations after Gene Hackman's death. More details about Gene Hackman's death have emerged. Unexpected truth regarding Gene Hackman's death. After Hackman's death, people looked for his daughter, Leslie Ann Allen. You'll realize their speculations aren't altogether wrong when you evaluate their arguments. Gene Hackman's 3 children include her. Unlike her father, little is known about her. Her personal and professional life is unknown because she has avoided the spotlight. She claimed he was healthy after the iconic actor was found dead in their Santa Fe home on February 26, 2025. Her confidence was unwavering. She said Gene Hackman liked Pilates and yoga and did it several times a week. His health was good. She stated that without doubt, as if the late actor was unimportant. However, Allen's description was distant from reality. When the reality was revealed, it raised suspicions, not just a misunderstanding. What did Leslie hide? Why did she pretend everything was okay when it wasn't? You'll want to finish this video because the reality will stun you. Her credibility was first unquestioned. She was Gene Hackman's daughter. Who knows his health better? However, the research revealed Hackman's condition was different from what Leslie had informed the public. Hackman's wife, Betsy Arakawa, died days earlier. Hantavirus pulmonary disease killed 65-year-old Betsy Hackman. Her death was caused by a rodent-borne illness. Suddenly, this was more than an elderly couple's awful death. Quite suspicious. Investigators were needed. Hackman was likely alive for a week after his wife's death, they found. He was alone in their large home, presumably ignorant that his wife had died. He may not have grasped what was happening due to his advanced Alzheimer's. His heart finally stopped. The autopsy showed that externally trauma-free, without blatant foul play. It still seemed wrong. Many now pose a different inquiry. Why did Leslie Ann Allen declare her father was healthy if she knew him so well? Under investigation, Leslie's claims collapsed. She said she was close to her father, but then she came clean. She hadn't seen or spoken to Hackman or Arakawa in months. California was her home. Their home was New Mexico. Distance would have dispelled all doubts, but she kept saying everything was great, even though she hadn't checked in, had no way of knowing. What was her rationale for downplaying Hackman's condition? Even after Hackman's death, Leslie Ann Allen was expected to clarify her claims. After her claims regarding her father's health were disproven, she disappeared. She appeared utterly isolated from public life. Her first public appearance after the announcement was unremarkable. Leslie Ann and her sister, Elizabeth Hackman, were pictured at Denny's in Burbank, California, eating breakfast after Hackman and his wife's deaths. Those close to Gene Hackman in his last months weighed in. They also offered a different picture of the Hollywood legend's final days than Leslie Ann. Hackman's health had been worsening for some time, according to close friends and relatives. His memory loss was significant. His once strong presence had dissipated, leaving him disoriented and feeble. Hackman's wife, Betsy Arakawa, supplied his primary care. She managed his meds, doctor visits, and daily routine. She also kept him hidden from the public eye, assuring his comfort in his final years. Why had Leslie Ann Allen boldly claimed his immaculate health? The case got stranger as detectives looked deeper. There are also rumors that Arakawa ceased calling her mother and other family members around October last year. It was initially ignored. She was secretive from the start. But as months passed and she hadn't called, several family members worried. Something was off. Then, Leslie. Despite claiming to be close to her father, she hadn't spoken to him in months. No visit from her. Not checked in. The two ladies, one who had been caring for Hackman and the other who claimed to know everything about him, seemed to have isolated themselves from the outside world. As weeks passed, public interest in the case remained. If anything, it got worse. Authorities promised to take the situation seriously. Hackman's death was solved, but many mysteries remained. Public wants more. Sheriff's press conference followed. Authorities updated the investigation. They assured everyone there was no foul play. None were confirmed yet. Hackman's worsening health, his wife's untimely sickness, and their deaths were discussed. The mystery persisted after the news presentation. The Hackman's dog's body was one of the first oddities found within. Initial perplexity. Initial accounts misidentified the dog, making it unclear if the couple owned it. After the correct identification, authorities had to decide if the pet died naturally, or was there a more sinister cause. Hackman's medical history was next notable. Though he led a secluded life in his later years, his health difficulties were extensively reported. Hackman's 2012 Florida bicycle accident was a major incident. He was hit by a car, thrown off his bike, and suffered minor injuries. However, anyone familiar with long-term health difficulties understands that such accidents can produce hidden damage that may not emerge for years. Hackman was old, therefore could the accident have caused his death? In addition, forensic teams uncovered a small gas leak in the couple's house. Now gas leaks are usually suspicious. Over time, even modest doses might cause headaches, dizziness, confusion, and coma. Did this affect Hackman's health before his death? When asked about it in an interview with Larry King, Hackman made it clear. "I have the normal fear of passing away," he said. But he didn't disappear from TV entirely. His last on-screen appearance was a surprise cameo on a popular food show with Bay Area roots. In 2008, he popped up briefly on Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives, a Food Network show that explores local eateries across the country. He retreated to Santa Fe, New Mexico with Betsy, where he focused on his hobbies and personal interests. His final public appearance had been years ago. A rare sighting in March 2024 showed him at Papa Dough, a well-known seafood restaurant. Hackman was seen in a hooded gilet, olive green trousers, sneakers, and a cap, leaning on a walking cane as he exited the venue. He looked frail, but carried himself with the same quiet dignity that had defined his entire career. That was the last time the world saw him alive. Gene Hackman's past statements about his health, Leslie's disappearance from the public eye, and her insistence that everything had been perfectly fine, had all raised suspicions.